as me and Dad arrive in Los Angeles, California for the first time ever. We leave Hawaii behind and we explore LA for the first time for me, first time for Dad, and around the world holiday. Fantastic. So little did I know that Dad had so much planned for us. Went down to Long Beach, California. We did all these tours around Hollywood. We covered a lot. We went to Las Vegas on the bus. We did as much as we could within the time we were there. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy this video. Sit back, relax, and check it out. There's Dad there on the go. we were so busy, so tired. We've seen so much in such a little time, but we had fun, and I'm glad we did it. I'm really glad I've been travelling the world for many years now. Who would have thought we'd end up the way we are now in 2021? Anyhow, hope you enjoy the video.
Oh, there. To the colour.
Later today, we'll go down the Sunset Strip. We'll go see some of the popular bars, restaurants, nightclubs, celebrity hotspots. Eventually, we'll go over to Beverly Hills. We'll go see the famous shopping street, Rodeo Drive. Let you look around there. A lot of you coming from other countries, maybe spend some money and help the American economy. Right? Yeah. All right, and then we'll go for a lunch stop at the farmer's market. We have a longer stop, let you get something to eat and look around. Then after lunch, a couple of you are going on a slightly different tour number 2, right? You go on tour number 2? Yeah. So yeah, but the original O.J. Simpson trial happened on the 9th floor. And coming up next on the right, we're going to go past the Los Angeles City Hall, the headquarters of the city government. Now this colorful building coming up here on the right, the Españoles, they already know this story because it's part of their country's history, Spanish language and the Catholic religion. From there they sent explorers and missionaries northwards of what they call the El Camino Real, the road, all the equipment and cameras. If you look in that town square there, you see a big statue of Carlos III, the King of Spain, Carlos III. And if you look over here on the left, you'll see the original Spanish mission that started the city of Los Angeles, Church of Our Lady of the Queen of the Angels. But that was too much for people to say, so eventually they just shortened it to Los Angeles. Over to the right here, you see part of our culture, part of our history of being part of Mexico and part of the Spanish Empire. You see these colorful image shape on top. Just kind of have your cameras out, have them ready when we're driving, because sometimes we go past things fairly quickly. Like right now, you're going to see the Dragon's Gate, but just for a few seconds here. Very stylish entrance to Chinatown, these big golden dragons. In Spanish they call it Barrio Chino. Alright, 4 different music and theater venues all in one place. This is where we stop briefly to get the tour organized, to get everyone on board. Here on the right, the square one, this is the Amundsen Theater. The next one, the small circular one, this is the Mark Tabor Forum. This one had award ceremonies. The last time the Oscars were held here was the year 1998. That was the year a movie called Shakespeare in Love was the winner for Best Picture. He quite often makes guest appearances here, child custody hearings. And down here on the corner, this very stylish venue we're going to go past. This is the Walt Disney Concert Hall, stainless steel Bilbao in España, called the Guggenheim. Very similar, the same architect. This building was used in a very popular recent movie, a movie called Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. They did some filming at the front door here. Alright, any city in the world, they can say it's, you know, they did some filming there and they said it was Japan. If you saw the movie Black Rain with Michael Douglas, Andy Garcia, they did some filming there. The movie Fast and the Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, they did some filming there. They did some filming there for Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, the Terminator. He's driving a commandeered police car down the street and he's firing a shotgun out the window. He's trying to kill the other 2 main characters played by Linda Hamilton and Michael Biehn. And they're playing that cool techno music. Right, you guys remember that part? That was the best part, right? No, I'm just teasing. Anyway, so they filmed that here on Lower Grand, where he's shooting at them. And eventually he's not paying attention and he crashes into the dead end here of Lower Grand. So they did some filming here for the movie The Terminator. Alright, coming up next, if you look upwards and to the left as I go through this next intersection, you see a very tall office building, a tall white circular building called the U.S. Bank Tower, tallest building in the state of California. See it up there to the left? That building was used in a popular movie called Independence Day, actor Will Smith. Yeah. Christopher Walken, Johnny Depp. Almost the entire movie filmed in the Westin Bonaventure Hotel. Another movie called In the Line of Fire, for the Spanish speakers in Spain. I think he called En Línea del Fuego with Clint Eastwood, John Malkovich. Also a movie called, probably the most famous movie they filmed here was a movie called True Lies, or I think in Spain it was called Mentirosas Verdades, with our governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. And there's this very famous scene in if you look in the front door here, you can see the fountains and the water. See, yeah, Schwarzenegger rides on horseback through there in the movie True Lies. Over here on the left, the Citibank building, if you remember seeing a movie called Heat, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. Near the end of the movie, the bank robbers rob the Citibank building and come running across this plaza. They end up having a huge machine gun battle right here in this intersection with the police officers. Action-adventure movie Heat.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so...
yeah.
Alright, so enough of downtown. You see a lot of car commercials filmed here in Los Angeles. Movie Independence Day. You've probably seen Los Angeles in a lot of movies and TV shows over the years. In fact, sometimes people from other
So we are in the city then.
Hispano hablantes. En los próximos 5 o 10 minutos vamos a ver algunas cosas. For a movie called Rebel Without a Cause. Actor James Dean back in the 1950s. About the last 20 minutes. Also the world famous Hollywood sign going to be coming into view. Please, and I have to drive away. Don't panic. Come back in 5 minutes.
Oh.
Ja, besten zusammen, oder?
Huh?
It's up there. Is it coming up, is it?
Yeah.
Hollywood the sign? Older than me, that sign. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
working?
it. Yeah.
Finally got here, mate.
The big sign.
Big sign and the helicopter up there that landed.
Yep. I can actually take a photo off the video.
Then I can take the photo. You got me in it? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, next on the tour, we're going to go see some important highlights here in Hollywood. just a few moments. I'm going to show you a famous building here in Hollywood, and we're going to head. Oh, you know what? I think this might be a famous woman. I don't know. There's this famous tattoo artist. I think that's her.
To the car? There.
I think that's
To
her.
the color.
Von D. You guys know who that is?
No?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Called LA Ink. Her name is Kat Von D. It's very expensive to get a tattoo from her. Any of you ever seen this television show? See right there? It's like an old Buick or Chevy or something. It's over here on the left, Capitol Records office building. See right there. And she's turning to go over to her tattoo place, I think. A famous person. Oh, that's a coincidence. I didn't know she lived up there, so interesting. Something else kind of interesting. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the famous movie called Pretty Woman. Richard Gere, Julia Roberts. Yeah. We're going to go see a famous building. We're going to go see the apartment building where Julia Roberts lives in the movie Pretty Woman. If you remember the final scene in the movie Pretty Woman, the character played by actor Richard Gere, he comes driving up in a big white limousine and he pops out the sunroof and he goes to see the character played by Julia Roberts. She comes out on the fire escape and starts shouting to each other. A very famous part of the movie, the final scene on Las Palmas. Character played by Richard Gere comes driving up front in a white limousine. He pops out and he starts shouting, "Vivian! Vivian!" Character played by Julia Roberts. She hears him. She's living on the third floor up in the far right window. She comes out on this fire escape and they start shouting to each other. Eventually he climbs up the fire escape. So yeah, final scene in the popular movie Pretty Woman. Now if you look down at the sidewalk on both sides of the street, you'll just see your average boring race event, but that's going to change dramatically with thousands of entertainers. Around the corner here, have to stop on Hollywood Boulevard. Alright. If you look over on the left here, you can see the historic Egyptian Theater. This is one of the big movie palaces here in Hollywood. It's built back in the 1920s. Over here on the left, the little branch office for the Church of Scientology. Oh, by the way, the Germans, my good friend Mr. Tom Cruise, he told me to pass on a message to you. He says you are, German people, you are wrong about Scientology. That's what he says.
It's a wax museum, huh?
So what do you think about that? I mean, you don't care, right? We don't care. But, that's what he says. Anyway, people ask me about where the different stars are in the Walk of Fame. I don't know where all of them are, but I know where some of them are. If you look on the left in front of the McDonald's restaurant, you can find a star emblem for actress Marilyn Monroe. Right near that payphone. Coming up ahead, we have some of the most popular sites here in Hollywood. We're going to have a stop here, let you get out and explore. We got the Kodak Theater coming up on the right. This is where they hold the Oscars, the Academy Awards. The last 7 or 8 years in a row, the Oscars have been held here at the Kodak Theater. They block off the street and put red carpeting everywhere, and it looks a bit different. Just up ahead here on the right, you're going to see one of the most popular tourist attractions in the world. This is going to be the legendary Chinese Theater here on Hollywood Boulevard. So famous because this is where they have the hands and footprints of the stars. Everyone from older stars like Humphrey Bogart, Clark Gable, John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, Tom Cruise, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they're all there at the Chinese. Now, I have to find a parking spot here, so just give me a second. Let you guys out and walk around and explore here. There's too many vehicles taking all the spots here. Let me see what I can do. I know there's some money. walk up about 100 yards there, and that's where the Chinese theater is, okay? Just have to walk up that sidewalk. Now I'm going to park the bus here in the shade. And
You get a photo? Way back yeah. Nah, okay then. Yeah. Not him though, is it?
that people think it looks like Elvis, but it's actually a singer named Ricky Nelson. I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with him. Yeah. Singer and entertainers. They all went to Hollywood High School at one time, but not all at the same time. But you know. Go to get a drink. But incredibly popular here in California. Started with one store, it was too popular. Just, you know, great, delicious tasting food, reasonable prices.
What's the difference to McDonald's?
No, it's better. Mm-hmm. It's right next to the strip. It's on like, it's right across the other side of the freeway, just around the corner here, down the street to the left. And I was telling the Españoles, their real name is Gustavo the Frog in Spain. But in most English-speaking countries, they just keep it Kermit, right? It's like through this intersection. If you look down the left, okay, see Kermit right there? Yeah, the big statue of Kermit. Yeah, there he is. Or Gustavo La Rana, as they say in Spain. They had some flowers here a few days ago for actor Isaac Hayes. He just died recently. But I'll slow down here as I go past. If you look under this red awning, if you look on the ground near the front door, you see the handprints of the musical superstars, the rock woman. Alright, next up on the tour, I got one for the English. Where's the English back there? Yeah, alright. So you guys remember a few years back, one of your fellow countrymen got in a little bit of trouble here, a British actor named Hugh Grant? Yeah, he was having a few pints of beer with some of his friends. Socializing out here on the sidewalk. She was strolling back and forth, and yeah, that didn't quite work out the way that Mr. Grant had planned. He actually ended up a guest of the authorities for a few hours and got some souvenir photos. Coming up on the right, if you look up on the mountain side, you're going to see a white circular mansion up on the hill. This used to be the mansion of a television producer named Merv Griffin. Some of you might remember he was a talk show host back in the 1970s, 1980s. He hosted his own program, the Merv Griffin Show. He used to live up there. He also created the popular game shows Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. He was a very wealthy man. He made over $200 million off of those TV shows. But he passed away recently. Over here on the left, this is the Directors Guild of America. For the Spanish speakers, the Sindicato that I was talking about earlier. Coming up on the right, this is the Laugh Factory, a popular comedy nightclub. A lot of big name performers have been here over the years. People like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Ellen DeGeneres, Jay Leno, Jerry Seinfeld, Roseanne Barr. Next on the tour, we're going to go past the Chateau Marmont Hotel. Coming up on the right, very popular hotel with celebrities. Chateau in French means castle, so you're going to see this castle-looking building coming up here on the right. People like Faye Dunaway, Robert Mitchum, John Wayne, John Lennon, Keanu Reeves, Leonardo DiCaprio, they've all been here. Probably most famous for an incident that happened in March of 1982. Popular actor-comedian named Hotel. Next up on the tour, I'm sure some of you have seen the popular Oceans movies, Oceans was character. Over here on the right, we have Carney's, a restaurant built into an old railroad car. It's featured in the Oscar-winning movie Crash about 3 years ago. Saddle Ranch, a Western-style theme restaurant. One of the popular attractions here is look through the front door. They have a mechanical bull inside there. You sign a legal waiver and you can go for a ride and entertain yourself.
Hey, yeah. Yeah.
So how about you folks from Germany? Do they have very many bars with the mechanical bulls in Germany? Yeah. They do have some, really? I didn't know that. Over here on the right, the Comedy Store. Over here on the left, the House of Blues, very popular, trendy music nightclub. And this white building next to us here, the Mondrian Hotel, this is where they have one of the big, trendy nightclubs, a place called Sky Bar. If you look on the left here, that's the entrance to Sky Bar. Very famous nightclub. People like Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan. They like to go to Sky Bar. The back patio has a wonderful view of the city. If you look off to the left, here, you can see how it has a view of the city from here. Next on the tour, did anyone remember seeing a television series called 77 Sunset Strip? Okay, well if you did, yeah. Well, if you remember that series, the detective agency and Dean Martin's restaurant, they used to be over here on the left. Unfortunately, they were torn down to make way for the Tiffany Theater and Actors Studio. Yeah, this is where they used to do the old TV series, 77 Sunset Strip. There actually is no 77. This is actually the 8500 block of Sunset. They just changed the numbers to fit the theme song.
Is that TV show?
Alright, next on the tour, we're coming into an area called the Sunset Plaza. This is an area of cafes and bistros. So on D, the famous tattoo artist today, so let's see if we can find someone else. A couple months ago, I was doing a tour and we saw a singer and actress, Jennifer Lopez. She was coming out of a clothing store called Dolce & Gabbana. You know this one? Yes. Next on the tour, we're going to see some of the famous popular music nightclubs. Coming up on the left, we're about to go past a very famous nightclub called the Viper Room.
Oh, I heard
It's owned by actor Johnny Depp. You might remember this place from the news. Unfortunately, it was the scene of a tragedy about 13 years ago. A young actor named River Phoenix actually collapsed and died of a drug overdose while he was at the nightclub. It's got the black paint. It's over here on the left. There's an entrance here on Sunset and also an entrance on Larrabee here on the corner, both sides of the street. But yeah, Johnny Depp actually got married to a French singer named Vanessa Paradis. He actually moved to France, so he's not here anymore.
There was it,
Someone else managed the nightclub for him. That's it, right there on the left. Johnny Depp's nightclub, the Viper Room. And next on the right, we're going to see the Whiskey A Go-Go. Very famous music nightclub. Some of the biggest acts in history have performed here. People like The Who, The Doors, The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Bruce Springsteen, they had all been there. Okay, the Germans, I have a good one for you guys. Coming up on the right, we're about to go past a hard rock heavy metal type nightclub called the Roxy. And about 2 or 3 months ago, there was a long line of young girls waiting on the sidewalk here, screaming, because there was a German supergroup performing here. Tokyo Hotel, yes, that's right. I didn't understand because I had never heard of this before in my life. And these girls were going crazy. And I asked the German people on my tour, I said, what is this Tokyo Hotel? And the German people said, yeah, they are the future. Okay, so I'm going to go around the corner here. Where I'm pointing, you're going to see a yellow mansion up on the hill. It belongs to actress Halle Berry. You see that yellow mansion up there?
Yeah.
That's Halle Berry's house, yeah. Oscar winner, Monsters Ball. You guys, get your cameras ready. When I get up here to the traffic light, I'm going to turn the corner. We're actually going to be entering a big brown crest that you've probably seen in the movies before. That says Beverly Hills. If you're on the left side of the bus, there's a green city limits sign that says the population of Beverly Hills. And either side, you can take a nice picture of the city limits sign as we come into Beverly Hills. If that's important to you, I'll try to drive kind of slowly here. Uh-oh, I don't like this guy. Police officer driving on the sidewalk. What's this? Wonder if he's going to arrest somebody. Big brown crest here on the right, and if you're on the left side, there's a green sign over there on the left. It says city limits. And look at the police officer saying, get out of here. You can't sleep in here. This is Beverly Hills. I'll take you to jail. That's what he's saying. Yeah, that's right. More police. Gotta be careful. Keep an eye on my driving.
Right? Yeah, real chips.
Alright, we're going to go see a few highlights here in Beverly Hills. So we're going to have a stop at the famous shopping street, Rodeo Drive. So you guys can get out and run in there and start spending some money. German cars,
Shame on...
lots of Mercedes, lots of BMW, lots of Porsche, Audi. You'll see a lot of it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next on the tour, coming up on the left, we're going to go past a tall building with kind of an elaborate, beautiful dome on top of it. This is going to be Beverly Hills City Hall, headquarters of the city government. Just changed the name for the movie, but they do a lot of that movie industry. Change the name, change some street signs. Beverly Hills City Hall. Yeah, it's used in a popular movie, Beverly Hills Cop. Now they like to do a lot of movie filming here in Beverly Hills. They like to show the beautiful home. In fact, as I go through this drive, it's been used in more than 100 different movies, television programs, music videos, commercials, because it has these tall, beautiful, symmetrical palm trees. Kind of stereotypical of what people think of in California.
Yeah.
See that street right there? And also they have this big giant sign here, Beverly Hills, in case you didn't get a photo before. Sometimes there's people crawling all over it. It's not a good idea. Alright, I'm going to turn on to Beverly Drive here. If any of you remember a American television program called the Beverly Hillbillies, opening credits
yeah, I remember that.
Show the family moving to Beverly Hills and drive California lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, next on the tour, we're going to go Pretty Woman. I'm sure some of you are going to remember that. If you look over here on the right, in the movie Pretty Woman, there's a scene in the movie where the character played by Julia Roberts, she tries to go shopping. Some of the store owners are not very friendly or helpful, and she ends up leaving the store and going back to the hotel, and she cries, and she comes back the next day and she says, you made a big mistake, or something like that. I only saw the movie one time, I'm not an expert, but I have had people on the tour, predominantly women, who have seen the movie 5 times or 10 times. Or I had one woman, she said she's seen it 37 times.
Gee, is that all?
The movies I like, I'll only see 2 or 3 times. Alright. So, here we are, famous Rodeo Drive, used in so many movies and television programs.
Yes.
Celebrities come shopping here. It's kind of expensive to shop here sometimes. Españoles, mira, a la izquierda, entiende español. very famous jewelry store coming up on the left, a place called Harry Winston. Has a copper color on the outside. A lot of store, Harry Winston. This is a very famous intersection. Lots of people like to stop here and take pictures. Big street sign that says Rodeo Drive. Down at the end of the street here, we have the Regent Beverly Wilshire Hotel. This is the hotel from the movie Pretty Woman. Character played by actor Richard Gere. He is staying here in the movie Pretty Woman. Okay, so we're going to pull around the corner. There's a special drop-off zone here. I can let you out. I actually have to drive away and, right, so you know, walk around, take a look. Maybe you can go in some of the stores. Maybe you could, you know, a little intimidating sometimes. A couple of months ago I had, all right, so, okay, so I'm going to drop you off here on the sidewalk next to Louis Vuitton. Come back here.
Hey, Ron. Spy cameras. There, drive. Hot rod, yeah. Yeah.
You've been driving around as well.
Yeah.
And done those tours.
Yeah.
It's too hot though at the top off.
Yeah, it'd be boiling.
Yeah, they're having the air conditioning. One price that ring, $6,900, $7,000 that little ring.
It is like a bit of movie set, yeah.
Like a movie set.
Yeah.
See famous people just come and get a room here during Oscar week. You'll be amazed, but it'll probably be a little hard to do. But yeah, sometimes there's paparazzi hanging around outside the hotel. Not uncommon, but Four Seasons Hotel. Sometimes we drive by and we see someone famous leaving, entering. From time to time, not every day. But Four Seasons Hotel. Oh, that's an expensive car, a Bentley to drive with. Spears, both her children born here at Cedars-Sinai. Other famous celebrities have been here recently. I mentioned before actress Halle Berry. About 4 or 5 months ago, she had a baby here at Cedars-Sinai. Also a pop singer named Gwen Stefani. She's a lead singer of a very popular rock group called No Doubt. Gwen Stefani was here just a few weeks ago. She had a baby. She named her baby Zuma. I'm not sure if that's the best name for someone. Yeah. Cedars has the reputation of having the highest standards of quality. In Hebrew and a couple other buildings. Yes, no? They're very, very expensive clothing. Like even one T-shirt can cost $175. And it's very trendy with some of the actresses and actors, and
Yeah, I know.
sometimes you see it, but sometimes the young German women, I guess if you buy this in Europe, the clothing store, Ed Hardy, you see the colorful t-shirts? Yeah, the young German women, they go, oh, please stop. What's going on? Yeah. I say, okay.
Hey, the reason is that Claudia, Heidi Klum,
Heidi Klum?
yeah,
She likes to wear it?
shop with her show Germany's Next Top One.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
She goes
that is
in.
the reason why they
She goes into that store on the show. Oh,
Yes.
that's why.
That is the reason.
So it's important to see the German, right? So this is popular and trendy Melrose Avenue. All types of clothing stores and shoe stores and bicycle shops and skateboard shops, internet cafes. Very popular. But today it's just too hot. People don't want to go outside. Maybe they all go to the coffee shop and get an iced coffee. Starbucks. At a television series, a TV series called Melrose Place. And it took the name of the street. This is the real Melrose. Popular shop. If you come here on Saturday or Sunday, there's thousands of people here. Very, very busy, very popular. Today is work day, so not so busy. So where do you live in Brazil?
South
South?
of Curitiba.
Okay. Because I might go to Brazil soon, like maybe next month, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Peru was okay, but I loved Argentina. It's incredible.
Where are you going there?
I was just in a talk show called Dr. Phil,
Dr. Phil,
doing at
yeah.
Paramount. And Paramount is a big facility. It covers many square blocks here in Los Angeles. It goes for several blocks down the street ahead of us and several blocks down to the left. And coming up at the next traffic light up ahead here, you'll start to see one of their sound stages, some of their advertisements. They had a very big summer, a lot of smash hit movies like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Iron Man, Kung Fu Panda. These are all big Paramount hits. If you look over here on the left, you see the advertisement for Dr. Phil, the new movie The Duchess, the new Entertainment Tonight here, Ghost Town, Tropic Thunder, Eagle Eye, all these different projects they do here at Paramount. And coming up on the left, if you want to take a picture, you're going to see the very famous front entrance. A lot of the biggest stars in the world have driven through this gate, including actor Tom Cruise.
Where? Oh, that one, no,
Big
yeah.
movies. He used to come here for the
Paramount.
Mission Impossible movies.
There, well, Paramount.
Yeah, but if you want to get a nice picture, if you look over here on the left, you're going to see the main entrance in just a few seconds. Main entrance, the Windsor Gate, and you can also see the Bronson Gate a little further down the street. You guys know who that is?
No?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.